Good evening, everybody. Chris and Tiffany here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to this week's live video. We are here to talk about all things cruising and everything going on out there in the cruising world. There's actually quite a bit of cruising stuff going on this week, but we'll give everybody a chance to hop in, say hi, and we'll get the show started.
Yeah, Glistens is here. Good evening, sailors. How is everyone's evening? And special captain's hi to Texas Cruiser and Nelly. Good job, guys. And then he says, ahoy, captains. Man, it feels like I'm the only one here. We'll get some joining in soon.
Yeah, everybody will start hopping in here really soon. But of course, we'll start off. How has everybody's week been? Any news, any excitement going on out there in regular lives? I can say that we are getting super, super excited as we are only 30 days away. We're beginning the last 1 month countdown for Harmony of the Sea. So I'm excited about that.
Carolyn's here, says hello, everyone. Thanks for the trip videos. I love the photos that you have prior to this live show. Attila's here. Hi, y'all. Ray's here. Hello to you both from Judy and Ray. Glisten says, phew. Hello, guys.
Ray, I do have to ask. I know there's been some weather up in the North Carolina area.
Are y'all doing okay?
Yeah, you guys doing okay? Has that affected you guys at all?
Carolyn says, woohoo, 30 days. Sheikah says, hola, amigos. Connie's here. Ahoy, mateys. And Attila the Fun, busy cooking a little dinner. Be back later.
Well, we will probably still be here.
Yes.
So feel free to come on back whenever you are available.
Yeah, don't be like me and burn it because you forgot you were cooking.
We refer to that as Cajun style cooking.
Yes. Misty says, howdy, y'all. Glisten says, woohoo, 30 days. We are sailing away. Remember that.
Oh, believe me, that is very much on our mind, getting off of the land and getting back out to sea.
Yes.
We are getting super, super excited about that.
Misty says, heading to the garden to pull weeds and chat with amazing people. That sounds like fun, actually.
Well, except for the weeding part. You get like therapeutic.
I get therapy out of pulling weeds.
Therapy out of pulling weeds.
Yes. Attila the Fun, I mean the nerve. I have to cook my own food and cleaning up. No MDR for me tonight. Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm sure Tiffany's very much looking forward to the MDR onboard dining experience.
And no cleanup.
And no cleanup.
No asking, what do you want for dinner?
Yes, which is the absolute horror of every marriage out there.
Yes.
Is spending the entire rest of your life deciding what you want for dinner.
Yes.
Yeah, other than that, it's good.
Misty said, I harvest my first ever cucumbers for dinner. Oh, those are good. Yes.
We do eat a lot of cucumbers,
We
too.
do eat a lot of cucumbers. I love just cutting them up and putting a little salt and some ranch on them and just eating them like that.
Mm-hmm.
Ray says, we're doing okay. Storms, no issue. High surf.
That's good.
Yes.
We're getting some videos from our daughter there in North Carolina, and she said out near Raleigh, they were experiencing some flooding and stuff over there. And of course, we've been experiencing flooding here for
2 weeks.
2 weeks now. Started that Saturday. We were coming back from Tennessee, and it's happened again.
Yeah.
The
hill country is just getting inundated.
Yeah, a lot of rain up there and everything like that. Bad for the people that have been affected, but it is good for our rivers. It is good for our lakes. We've got some lakes up here that are down, 40-50% of their water volume, if not lower. And so the rain is definitely going to help out with that.
Yes.
So
still keeping our thoughts and prayers to all of those families, though.
Yes, along the Guadalupe, along the Frio. Yeah, very much so.
I think they said, is it the Nueces?
It's a possibility.
I don't know. Glisten says, that's awesome, guys. That's smart. No spending, just grow.
So let's go ahead and get in ready and hop on in, and we will see what's going on this week. So we got some cruise news going on. It's been an interesting week for cruise news. First and foremost, for those that like to hide the ducks, we got some rubber duck news. Quack quack. Royal Caribbean, they have said on their Oasis class ships, on their Icon class ships, there are now signs being posted not to hide ducks in the Central Park area. If you're not familiar with those classes of ships, that's where the plants are. The live plants, no more ducks in those areas. And that really comes from people stepping, trampling, climbing through the plants, either trying to hide them or look for them, which causes, of course, damage and affects the aesthetics and everything else for future cruises in those areas. So, yeah, if you're a duck fan, just don't hide them in Royal Caribbean Central Park. Rest of the ship, where you were allowed to hide them before, still good, just not in the Central Park area. And that's only on the big ships that even have that.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely something to keep in mind.
So Misty has a question. With all the scams of travel agents on Facebook, how do I know who to trust?
The best thing I could recommend is either go with a well-known established company or with somebody maybe you know or a friend recommends.
We have several travel advisors or agents on the channel.
Right, and we have several here. So for an example, if you were asking me, who would you recommend? Just going off the top of my head, Sheikah happens to be on here. She's in tonight. She's a travel agent. You could reach out to her, somebody that we know. But yeah, if you're looking on Facebook or she's
still waiting on you to email her back.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I've been having some issues getting in MSC and things like that. There are a lot of scams out there. It doesn't hurt to ask questions. Don't definitely give them any personal information, money, or anything like that if you don't know those people.
Yeah. James is here. Good evening, Chris and Tiffany and all cruisers. Ray said we're about 5-minute walk to the beach and can hear probably the surf. Glisten says I created another channel called Glisten's Florida Cruising because I'm in Florida right now. I like that.
I wouldn't mind being in Florida right now.
I wouldn't either.
That's because you want to go to Disney and get a popcorn bucket.
Yeah, I saw the new popcorn bucket. I want it. Misty says I'm still waiting for your email. I already read that one. Sorry.
Yeah, it is in my thing of list to do. All right. Next, we're going to talk about the Norwegian Star. We actually had some cruise ships this week that have had some mechanical issues, some technical issues, some propulsion problems. We got the Norwegian Star, lost power departing New York, got out in the Hudson. The lost power had to be towed right back to dock. Didn't even get out. Had to be towed back. Problem was solved. Ship did eventually leave port later on that evening. Did not affect the itinerary. The Island Princess had a small fire up on deck 12. Quickly extinguished, no injuries, no effects to the ship, operation, or itinerary. But that's always a little scary up on deck, because deck 12 is pretty public. It was in a passenger area, so it can freak people out a little bit sometimes when that happens, because of course fire is the most dangerous thing that you could possibly have out at sea. And then finally we had the Ruby Princess. Ruby Princess on an 11-night Alaska sailing has once again had some engine issues, a technical difficulty problem as they call it, but naturally that always affects propulsion. It is affecting the itinerary. The ship last reported is only able to make about 12 knots. And this started pretty much the minute she pulled out of San Francisco on her 11 night. So I think they're in 6 days into the cruise now and no resolution. So far, they've had to miss their tour up the Endicott Arm to see glaciers. Yeah, a lot of people not super happy about that. Technical stuff happens. But what's really funny about all of these ship issues, because ship issues happens, they're mechanical. Stuff breaks down. You can't run something 365 days a year, year after year after year, and expect there to be absolutely no issues or problems ever. There's going to be something. But ever since Netflix released that Poop Cruise documentary, which is a joke all by itself. Because if you actually watch that documentary, I think they fixed it now. There were scenes in the documentary where they were showing people on board cruise ships doing activities. Some of it was from Royal Caribbean. They actually showed a belly flop contest off a Royal Caribbean ship. And the cruise director at the time, Mark, who's a Royal Caribbean cruise director, said, "That's me. That's a Royal Caribbean ship. I've never even worked for Carnival," but they're showing it as that was stuff that was happening on the Carnival ship. So that whole documentary is a joke. But now every time a ship comes out and says, "Oh, we've had a technical problem. Oh, we lost power for 10, 15 minutes," the new comment that I see almost every single time is Poop Cruise 2025.
Well, Carolyn said, as long as the toilets are working, I will be okay with any emergencies.
Well, but what makes me laugh because, of course, all these Poop Cruise 2025 comments are only after Netflix released this, which was a month ago. How many of those people that are making those comments had any clue about the Carnival Triumph and what occurred prior to that documentary? You know, the way these comments are coming out, it's not like they knew or anything like that, because otherwise they'd have been, comments the whole time. It's just like it's the current bandwagon that they've jumped on. It's like, oh, look, this is trending. Let's jump on it and start saying it everywhere. Poop Cruise 2025. Where, believe me, the cruise lines have learned their lesson from the Carnival Triumph. They're going to do 1,000% necessary to make sure that never, ever happens again. I feel bad that had to be learned by those people on the Carnival Triumph, but
yeah, Carolyn said, yeah, Parrot DJ got the belly contest piece paid for by Netflix.
Yeah, and it's so weird though. They put that in, and it's not even a Carnival ship. So that right there, they didn't even do their due diligence. So, not saying the Poop Cruise didn't happen. It did. The Carnival Triumph did have power problems, and people were stuck and sleeping on decks and using the restroom in red bags. All that's true. The Poop Cruise really happened. But, dude, guys, if you're going to do a documentary on it, at least get it right. At least get it accurate. Don't just throw B-roll of whatever in there and go, look. So
Glisten says he's been to Busch Garden yesterday, Epic Universe today, and I'm going to Universal Studios on Friday. Epic Universe was so beautiful, especially the Super Nintendo World. He doesn't want to spoil it for people, though. And he got a Donkey Kong drink collector's cup. That sounds fun. And then was asking about Sun Princess is my favorite. Like, oh my God, I just love its shots. It's kind of looks like the Lady Voyage. Is that a virgin?
I think so.
Connie says Netflix has a new documentary series called Amy Bradley's is Missing, about a 23-year-old woman who disappeared from the Rhapsody of the Seas in 97. I've watched 1.5 of the 3 episodes.
So we don't normally watch a whole lot of Netflix.
No.
We watched it while we were on vacation, but
I remember seeing something though. I was watching, it was about cruise ship crime or something like that. And I remember seeing something about that Amy Bradley story.
Yeah,
I had no idea what happened to her. So
none whatsoever. I have to check it out just to kind of.
Yeah. Nelly here. Hi all.
Hello, welcome to tonight's show. All right, let's see where we're at. All right, so last week I talked about the mayor over there at Nice. Remember, I showed a little video. He's out there waving his letter saying, "You're not important. You don't matter. Get out of here," yelling at the cruise ships. Well, turns out he never, ever had the authority to limit cruise ships, never had the authority to tell them to go away. And one of the local courts there has already come down and said, "No, dude, no, you can't do any of that." So all his talk and blustering and waving and all that was for absolutely nothing. It changed absolutely nothing, and he has the authority to do absolutely nothing when it comes to those cruise ships. So really, now there's just permanent internet video, him waving paper around like a silly man. So, figured that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Carolyn, it glistens. You were making me want to go to Florida to see those places. Went to the Epic in the early 80s.
I know you want to go to all those places.
Yes, I do. Didn't work out to go for that.
For the mayor. No, not much at all. Not at all. And then the last piece of news, of course, we all knew Royal Caribbean was purchasing Costa Maya. Started into Perfect Day in Mexico. That is now official. Money's exchanged hands, papers been done, contracts have been signed. Actually happened back on the 11th. And so Royal Caribbean is now 100% in control of the Costa Maya cruise port. So I would expect to see construction start in some of those areas any day now.
Yeah.
They are probably anxious and ready to get in there and start. It's going to be a 200-acre area.
That's a big acre.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of area. Well, considering they said the island of Coco Key, the entire island's like 125 acres. That's a good sized spot. This is going to be 200 acres with a lazy river that apparently will take you 1 hour to go all the way around the lazy river back to where you started. How long it's supposed to be.
I want to do that.
You don't want to do a lazy river that takes an hour?
I'd be as red as your shirt. Even with sunscreen. I'd have to wear a blanket over me.
If they go floating by you just with a towel wrapped up, I see his eyes looking out. I'm loving the lazy river. But yeah, so we'll be in Costa Maya in about 30 days. It's one of our stops. And so we'll have to see if we start to see any type of changes going on there, because we'll be there in August. And then I do believe we stop there again in November on board MSC. So to give us a relatively close comparison to kind of see if construction started and how much progress they're making, at least at the beginning. I'm sure there'll be a lot of clearing and things like that.
Listen, that's probably why every ride I went on got delayed. Carolyn says, haha, glistens, now you know my age. Nellie said, I wonder when they will demolish the water park in Costa Maya.
That's a good question. I know that when you talk about it, it's that you've seen it before, that looks like a Mayan pyramid in the back.
Yeah.
That's part of the property that they've taken over, and they are putting a new water park in that location. So we'll have to see. Now, Royal Caribbean, of course, has confirmed and said all other cruise lines and cruise ships will still be allowed to go there, but only Royal Caribbean passengers and celebrity passengers will have access into the Royal Caribbean private area. So still kind of leaves the question, is the existing port, which is part of what they got, which is the port of Costa Maya, are they going to keep it the way it is? Are they going to make changes to that? We'll see. I mean, I'm assuming they're going to make some type of changes, but
Glistens says, so my trusty Google told me that there was a former princess cruise who died scrapped in 2013. Which one was that? That was before we really got into cruising.
Yeah.
Carolyn, it glistens. Maybe I should go to Florida Epic. I went to Disney World in the 80s. Connie at Carolyn, no, the incident happened in 97. She was traveling with her parents and younger brother. When I stopped watching it, looks like a crew member was suspected. Glisten said Pacific Princess got scrapped. That was before we really got into
yeah.
cruising.
And I've never really followed a whole bunch of the true crime stuff on cruising, but that could be an interesting rabbit hole to go down.
Yes.
may have to look at that just as an interesting rabbit hole. Now, Carnival Cruise Line Celebration Key opens this week. They're getting their very first cruise ship, the Carnival Vista.
We've been on her.
You have been on the Carnival Vista, correct? The Carnival Vista is going to be going there. Carnival Vista currently has Carnival Cruise Line President Christine Duffy's on board. Carnival Cruise Line's brand ambassador John Heald is on board. And there was an actual, they did an interview with Christine Duffy on board the ship this week. I want to say it was either earlier today or yesterday. And it talks a little bit about everybody's favorite subject, the Carnival Rewards program. She put out a little bit of new information. No, I would say no serious groundbreaking information. Nothing we didn't already know or suspect. But she does talk about it a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and share that interview with you guys real quick. It is a couple minutes long, but I'm going to go ahead and share it. That way everybody is kind of on the same page as to where all that is. So let me throw that up.
We recently announced our new loyalty program. It's received a lot of feedback from guests. And John, I know you're getting a lot of feedback from guests.
John.
Yeah. So Christine, let's walk us through the rationale of the change, right? Your thoughts on the program and what will be happening now between now and June 2026.
Well, that's right. The program doesn't start until June 1 of 2026. And yes, we decided to announce a year in advance so that we really would have the time for everybody to know what change was coming, how it's going to work. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to announce it 12 months early, but we did because, again, we want to be transparent and we want to really make sure that people understand the program. Now, why did we do this? Let me say, Carnival was founded in 1972, and between 1972 and 2012, when the VIFP program was started, we sailed 40 million guests. Between 2012 and 2025, we've sailed 65 million guests. So, as you can imagine, today we have 29 ships. We will sail have sailed in our history probably about 105, 110 million people by the end of this year. And when we looked at the ships that we have coming, and you all know we've got 2 more Excel ships coming, we've got 3 Ace ships coming, it's just not sustainable. And so while we recognize and we knew this change and this announcement was going to be difficult, the lifetime status benefits just can't be delivered in the right way. So a couple of things that we can talk about today that, first of all, there are a lot of details that will be announced as we get towards the end of the year. There is a lot of work that has to be done. Loyalty programs are highly regulated, right? Because the loyalty program does have a credit card that comes along with it. Now that credit card, the new card for the new Carnival Rewards program, for people that have today the Barclays Carnival card, any points, fun points that you have today or that you have on May 30 will also transfer automatically to the new card. So I know one of the questions people have asked you, John, was whether they should get the card now. You can't get the new card now, but you can still get the card if you don't have it. Continue using the card that you do have because all of the points will transfer over to the new card.
Correct. And you'll start getting those benefits. If you apply now, you'll start getting the new benefits right away starting in June of 2026.
You'll get the points.
Right.
So
the points.
status will be something that is different. And, we also were very sensitive to, especially for Diamond guests and the hurdle and milestone that it is to become Diamond, that we're giving everybody 6 years to maintain that status, irrespective of what they spend or sail. Right. Having the credit card, using the credit card for everyday purchases, in addition to purchasing Carnival cruises or spending on board, does give you points. And while we're not able yet to communicate point values, we can say that everyday spending will get you points on the card as well as what you purchase for Carnival. And remember, like most credit cards, there's plenty of other ways to get points. When people open up a new card, credit card providers typically pick points. I have a, department store credit card, and once or twice a year, I can say that I want double points. Right. We also know and are already talking with many of our providers, our retail providers, who will be also offering promotions where people will be able to earn extra points. And I think for Carnival, we will probably do the same thing on certain cruises. So more to come on that. I really, more than anything, just want to reassure people, it is not our intention at all to have, for people not to be able to maintain their status if they choose to. But lifetime status is just not feasible given the number of people and the growth that we have in the highest tiers.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the kids?
So one of the questions that we've been asked is, what about kids? And I've met kids over the years that are 2 and 3 and 4 years old that are already platinum or diamond. They will not be able to go into the new rewards program because you have to be 18 or over. So their status will match the status of whoever is paying for the cabin that's in the cabin. Right. However, we are going to maintain the database of any kids that are platinum or diamond that are under 18 on June 1 of 2026. So when they turn 18, they will have the option to opt in to the program at the status that they were when we provided the benefit to everyone else. So diamonds have 6 years, so if you count this year, 7 years, and platinum have 2 years. Right. So
very good. And do you want to touch a little bit on if you're Australian or Canadian as well?
That was one of
I don't know if there's any Australians or Canadians in the room, but you never know.
I know we have somebody from Canada. I did meet somebody from Canada.
Okay.
The credit card laws are different, so we're not able to offer the same card in Canada or Australia as we'll have in the U.S., but we are in active negotiations and discussions with a card provider for Canada and Australia so that we will be able to have our guests from those countries join the new rewards program. The benefits will probably be different because the credit card rules are different in those countries.
I was talking to some people who are on their 50th cruise, and we have a current milestone program where if you cruise 25, 50, 75 or 100 times, you get the equivalent amount of onboard credit. Is that something that we're still going to be doing for the next few years?
So there will be a new milestone program that comes out with the new rewards on June 1. However, for anyone that has already earned a milestone or earns a milestone in this period, you'll be able to redeem that for 5 years. So no one will lose any of the milestone benefit that they've already earned or accumulated before June 1. And there will be a milestone program with the new reward program that will provide recognition. And in that case, it'll be points, which points then can be used for lots of things that today you really can't use points for in our existing program.
And I think it's important that I mention also that along with all of this, it's been wonderful to speak to people who are diamond and platinum and gold and red, and they are all, obviously, they've given me their opinions, and a lot of them are very, telling me exactly what they feel, but virtually every single one has also said that the reason they cruise and will continue to cruise is because of the fun they're having, and that they know the crew will continue to take wonderful care of them. And I think it's important that we all remember that whatever card, color, whatever it is, the crew will always make sure you have the fun. And I really do sincerely hope that the main reason you continue to cruise is the fun, the affordability of the cruise, and most importantly, the crew, who are the absolute best in the cruise industry, bar none. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
All right. So there we go. Not a whole lot of substance in there. It was definitely a lot of fluff. A lot of it was stuff that we already heard previously before. We're top heavy. It's not sustainable. I do like some of the stuff that she said, not from a good information point, but these programs, they're really complicated, and we got lots of legal stuff to work out, so we can't actually tell you anything more. It's a big secret right now.
Yeah. So Nellie said, in other words, it's not changing. Ray says Carnival will be tweaking the program and listening to the feedback. Nellie said the kids should not be platinum or diamond anyway. Glisten said, I feel like this is live. Nah, it was recorded.
Yeah.
James said, yes, I think they have no choice, Ray. They have a lot of work to do on this program. Otherwise, they will lose a lot of older cruisers. Glistens is clappy. Nellie said, but the older cruisers rarely spend money, that they just cruise most of the time. The younger folks spend money on the ship, i.e. casino, spa, and specialty dining.
Right. And we all know that's what Carnival's really after. They're after those that spend money. And it's been entertaining since that statement came out. When they, between the royalty program changing and of course Carnival Cruise Line being racist now, because they'll no longer play gangster rap on board cruise ships of music that is not family friendly on the open decks area, which is what changed. I see a lot of videos of like before and after pictures, especially on TikTok. Well, they'll show a video of like a sail away party and the deck is packed and everybody's dancing, and they'll say, this is the old Carnival. And then they go and they show a video and this is the new Carnival. And there's like 4 people out there walking on the deck, but it's clearly either a super early in the morning or like a port day,
Nellie said, my friend is on the Vista. He said after the Duffy talk, they took no questions and people booed her. I believe it.
I do believe it. But they still got on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
They may not like the changes, but their Carnival's not reported a reduction in bookings. There hasn't suddenly been, a drastic change in their overall bookings. I know people are upset and they're venting and they got things to say, but at least for right now, it hasn't affected anything yet.
Glisten wants to know if the Princess Cruise in the back, is that the Royal class? Do you have a Princess ship back there?
There is over there.
Is that the Royal class?
Yeah, that's the Discovery Princess.
So yes, that's the Discovery Princess.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Carolyn, exactly at Nellie, we are finding that we can cruise without emptying our bank accounts. Yes.
Yeah. Carnival's not going to change it back. For all those that are hoping that whatever tweaks come over the next year, it's just not going to be. You're keeping your status. Lifetime statuses are gone. They're done. They're going away. Like it, don't like it, agree with it, disagree with it. They're not going to keep that.
Yeah.
Those that say grandfather sin, that doesn't solve the problem. They're not going to do that.
Nellie says, but you would stay on this sailing, too late to cancel. I don't think if they're going to see any kind of reduction, it's not going to be until the program actually rolls out.
Which isn't until next year.
So they're not going to have a decrease or anything like that for the next little bit.
I personally don't think they're going to have a decrease much at all. The true test, the true benchmark, and you'll know it when it happens, is if their prices drop. If cruise fare prices drop uncharacteristic compared to the other cruise lines, that's when you'll know. They're probably never, ever going to come out and say, oh my God, look at what's happening to us. But their price will drop. Their base cruise fare will go down. And if you start to see a steady decline in their cruise fare, that's when their bookings have been affected.
Yeah.
But if that stays steady or increases, that will be the true test right there, because they will never come out and say, oops, we were wrong. Our bookings went down 20%. So
Yeah. Glisten says, remember the video when the people were saying, give us our money? I remember seeing those videos.
yeah.
Connie at Nelly. Also excursions. It's usually older people who brag about staying on the ship and ports. Yeah.
Hmm.
Nelly says, but I've seen TikTok and they still have fans and play the songs they said they wouldn't. Only on the decks though, right?
Right. So the fans were only banned indoors in the club. You can still use them outside. And like I said, the only songs that I know that Carnival has admitted to reducing are ones that would not be so family friendly. So a lot of curse words, things like that, which I'm not picking on anybody's taste in music, but there's a lot of non-family friendly words in some rap music out there, which is probably why you've seen the biggest reduction there versus some of the others. I don't think it was specifically targeted. It was what the music contains is more specific to what was targeted. And look, let's just be honest. Your country music singers are not over there just, dropping the F-bomb every other word in their music. 80s, 90s music, not a whole lot of it unless you're in a specific thing. I think that's what they're targeting more than anything is family friendly, and why some of that's been moved to specific nights in the nightclub.
Yeah. Carolyn says, I have seen the boarding get better over the years. The priority boarding isn't as important. Most of their awards don't interest us. And then Nellie says,
Me
yes,
neither.
Connie, they talk about how the ship is theirs because everyone is off ship.
That's
Chica
right.
said, I think people stay on board because they have been there, done that.
Yeah, and I've seen a ton of comments where that is exactly what they say. They said, we've been cruising for 20 years. We've been to this port a bunch of times. We've done all of the excursions. We've seen all we want to see. Now we stay on board the ship and we relax, which is great. And they will still be able to continue to do that. But Carnival is unfortunately looking for those that want to spend more money. And Carnival's not the only one. I want to say it's Silver Seas. Is it Silver Seas? Silver Seas? One of them. But another Carnival owned brand has just switched and is going to a rewards style program. Said it before, one cruise line will start and you will see this start to progress. Another Carnival brand announced that they are also switching to a similar type program. I don't think this is over yet.
Nellie wants to know what the words are. Just say it.
No, we are also a family friendly show, and we're not going to say all the words.
Glisten,
You know the words.
Glisten's going to get back to us as soon as he can. His iPad died. Nelly, Sheikah Wright, me, and Nassau and Costa Maya and Ensenada for you. Misty, has anyone been on World America? If so, is it worth the hype?
I don't know if anybody here has. Somebody's been on World America, I
think
thought.
so.
I can't remember who it was, but I'm almost positive someone in our group has
Nelly,
been on
Nelly
World America.
says, Misty, my friend loved it. Carolyn said, it is nice to stay on board at times. A rest day where you're not fighting the crowd because everybody's off in the port.
Usually we are too.
Glisten says, more like live. Sheikah at Nelly, I do get off in Ensenada. I like it. Love the tacos, margaritas, and wine. Margaret said, it's not Silver Sea. They are owned by Royal. It's probably Seabourn. They are
There you
owned
go.
by Carnival.
There you go, Seabourn. I knew it was one of the C's. I just couldn't remember which one. Yeah, so that one, Seabourn, then, which is a Carnival-owned cruise line, has switched to this new program.
Thank you for the-
Yeah, thank you for the correction. So now it doesn't mean it's going to spread outside of the Carnival family, but it is at least spreading under the Carnival umbrella.
James says, tacos, margaritas, and white wine sound good to me.
You had me at tacos and margaritas.
I'm still looking for that bucket of tacos.
one video Tiffany saw and talked about a bucket of tacos
Yep.
and still wants that bucket of tacos.
Yep.
But we will be having tacos soon enough.
Yes.
Soon enough.
Nellie says, but Seabourn is full of people spending that cash anyway.
I'd have to look at Seabourn. I know because it's more luxury, they cost more. But how much is included in that cruise?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure their onboard spending is, they probably have more disposable onboard spending, but
Misty said, ooh, a bucket of tacos. Now, I haven't actually found a bucket of tacos. I misread a sign and I thought it said bucket of tacos, and Chris just happened to be filming, and that was a big joke. But yeah, I haven't actually found a bucket of tacos, but that would be great, wouldn't it? Maybe
Well-
we'll tell Roberto about that. Add this to your menu, a bucket of tacos.
you're not going to see him this next trip, though. We're going to Paradise Beach.
I know.
You're going to get all the tacos you can eat.
Yes.
I tell you what, you can take a bucket with you and put your tacos in your bucket and then have a bucket of tacos.
There you go. Carolyn said, I enjoy watching the camera at Miami Port a lot. It has soothing music. World America is huge. Always can spot it amongst the other ships.
I know that's such a great place to be with that camera there at because it looks right down Port of Miami. You see the ships in, out, turning around. That is so cool.
Carol's here. Welcome, Carol. She said a bucket of margaritas for me. Yep. We'll just have a bucket in each hand. One tacos, one margaritas. There you go. I like it.
Are you going to drink that much margarita?
No, but I
Okay.
can carry it around. Misty said that sounds better than a bucket of popcorn. Sheikah said, time out. Why the crowns and number? I have been absent for a while. Please explain. Why the crowns and number? I don't
What crowns and number?
know. Nellie said Sheikah no 1H.
James said the bucket of tacos.
Bucket of tacos at
Absolutely.
Paradise Beach. Nellie said Sheikah, no one gets them crowns. Margaret, a typical Seabourn cruise includes gratuities, all beverages, including alcohol, some shore excursions, etc. Seabourn, Silver Sea, Region, etc. are truly more all-inclusive than a standard cruise.
Yeah, so I mean, of course, they pay a premium for it. So
Oh, Misty said they are next to our names in the chat. Oh, okay. I don't see that.
No, I saw some of that last week. So we use StreamYard to stream our stuff. So it shows us a version of the chat, but those little crowns, I noticed them in replay. Those appear on YouTube, and I have no idea why.
I don't know.
But I did notice those last week.
Top
I think it's like the top commenters or
Carol
something.
said top fans get a crown. Connie said, I see the crown and number at the top of the chat window. I don't know what it is either. Nellie said on the chat, there is a leaderboard of XP. Misty said, ooh, then I'm top fan number 3. Sheikah said, not sure if you see them, but on the chat, I see a crown and a number by people's names.
Yeah, see, on this chat that we see through StreamYard, we don't see any of that. But I do have it pulled up right here. And do you see, look,
I don't see it.
what are those purple things?
Oh, I see it there. Okay.
Yeah.
So James said, don't forget the shots of tequila. Nah, I won't be doing shots, but I'll carry around that bucket of margaritas.
I'm with you on the shots of tequila. I'll do
Nellie,
that with you.
Nellie said, if you give a super chat, your experience goes up. Laugh out loud. Please don't go do that. Margaret, you can gain or lose your crown based on how much you comment, participate, and chat.
Okay,
Nellie said, watch me go to number 1.
I have no idea what that is. I did not turn anything on purpose. I don't know.
Thank you, Nellie.
Let
Carolyn,
me just say, don't do that.
Carolyn said, well, I must be a peasant, no crown. No, you're not. Not
Okay.
in our book.
Yeah, so again, I have no idea what that is. I guess I need to go over and actually look because I do not want. There's not supposed to be something in our chat rating people's
No.
comments.
No.
That is absolutely insane.
Now he said, see, look at the experience leaderboard now. I am one. Misty said, more coffee money for you, Tiffany. Exactly.
Yeah, Tiffany will definitely be using the coffee money. That's not a problem. But yeah, there's not supposed. I got to see what that is. That's really crazy.
Chica said, I have no crown either.
I don't know what is going on with that. Okay, I will look into that. I'm sorry. No one is supposed to be being ranked in the chat.
No.
That's
Kind of,
ridiculous.
yeah.
That's got to be something
I don't
YouTube
like
has
that.
turned on. I need to go figure out how to turn it off.
This is from AI YouTube chat is a real-time interaction feature during live stream and premieres, allowing viewers to communicate with the creator and each other. It offers features like top chat. James said, I'm with you, Carolyn. Me too.
That is so weird. All right, we'll have to figure out how to turn all that off.
Sheikah said, yay, Nelly, and yours is purple. You must talk too much.
Yeah, Nelly says really bright purple, probably because I guess he's number one now.
Yeah.
That
Nelly said, ooh, Sheikah.
that's cold. I don't know. I apologize because I don't want our chat rated
No,
by
We-
AI.
we want everybody to get in there and just have fun. Talk if you want to. Don't talk if you want to.
Wear the crown if you want to, apparently. I know I can make it do this.
But thanks for bringing that up because we had no idea
See?
that was going on.
I can make it do that.
Nelly said, I
And
don't think
that.
you can turn it off. YouTube way,
And that.
it's YouTube's way of gathering cash.
Oh, God, don't even get me started on that. So YouTube scamming in the background is what I'm hearing.
What it sounds like.
That's insane.
Misty said, I may put on my Burger King crown now. They're going to have to send everybody crayons.
Yeah, everybody gets a crown. That's just crazy. All right, I guess I should have paid more attention to some YouTube updates in the last 2 weeks.
Yes, it's been a crazy 2 weeks.
But yeah, that's insane.
Margaret said, as a live streamer, you can turn it off. It's called the leaderboard and it's in your settings in YouTube Studio. Ray said, do you have the countdown clock set for October 3rd of 26 going yet? We do.
Yes, that is I have to pull it up, but I do absolutely have that.
Nelly said, but you will get your $2 from my $5 super chat.
I'll be 100% on. That's why I recommend most people don't do super chats. It doesn't go 100%. Doesn't go to the channel. YouTube gets 40% of that, and we get 60%. And so I honestly tell people, keep your money because YouTube ain't giving it out to the creators anyway.
Attila said, I thought I was a Royal Caribbean fan with that crown or something. Carol is asking if Texas Cruiser is here. I have not seen him on here yet, but he is rocking his lives on Monday night.
And we are 443 days.
That's a lot.
443 days for Ray's question.
Nelly says, Carol, apparently he is too good for the lives now.
Wow. All right, Rick. If you're watching this in replay, apparently now that you got your own live, getting uppity and not showing up for the lives, they've called you out. It was Nelly. No, who knows? He could be working, doing some other type of project, something like that tonight. So,
Yeah, they had some. I've been seeing videos of Galveston. Sheikah, how would I go about hitting you up? And Carol's laughing.
So wait, 443 days until we go on the Carnival Magic. 115 days for the MSC Seascape. And then, of course, 30 days to Harmony of the Seas.
Yes.
Yes, I keep all of my countdowns.
Sheikah's asking if California Linda has been here lately. She was here last week.
Yeah, I believe she was here last week or the week. Last week.
We didn't do one the week before.
Okay, so last week. I know we've seen her recently.
Yeah.
I know we have. People kind of, they come and go, and of course, everybody's got lives and
Things going on.
things going on. And then I know for the folks
Excuse me.
out in California, it's only what, like 3-4 o'clock
Yeah.
by the time we start the live. I'm sure that's,
Did you see Nellie said, did you see Margaritaville at Sea is going to announce where new ship will be later this summer? And Nellie said she was here last week.
Yes, I did see the announcement from Margaritaville. See, I did post that over on Facebook, or I shared it over on Facebook. They confirmed the name Beachcomber, which was leaked when they very first bought the ship. And they're going to announce where it's going to port out of at a later date. They're kind of keeping that hush hush, which is why I'm pretty convinced it's not going to go to Florida. It's going to go somewhere. I still say Mobile, New Orleans, or Galveston. Hopefully Galveston. But they're going to do a big announcement on it. It's going to be a thing. You know what I mean? Because they haven't peeped it, leaked it. I mean, I know Galveston leaked a little something, but they've been wrong before. I think it's going to be a big announcement for where that goes. But there's a lot of support for it to come to Galveston.
Sheikah said, glad to hear she has been here. Margaret, 152 days to Quantum of the Seas, 263 days to Allure of the Seas. I'm not sure I can wait 152 days. Yeah, that's
a tough one.
Yeah, Misty said only trip I have planned is in end of October on land. Well, where are you going on land?
Land trips are good.
Yes, we had a really good one a couple weeks ago. James said, yes, 27 days until I'm in Galveston. Time to party.
Yes.
Sheikah, I am 60 days away from my next cruise on the Breakaway. Nellie says Galveston has an issue with ruining their cruise news.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They let stuff slip, then it turns out not to be true. And so now I want to hear the announcement after the whole Icon thing.
Ray says, I think Galveston for Jimmy 3. Margaritaville. Misty says spending 5 days in Galena, Illinois.
Awesome.
I don't know if I've been to Illinois. I've been to Chicago. Margaret, I loved your tour of the Airbnb. That looked fabulous.
It was very, very nice.
I came home with a lot of ideas.
Yes, she has. I've already had to hang up new fans and stuff over because she saw them in the Airbnb.
Yes.
She's already ordering stuff to make it look like the Airbnb that she liked.
Carol said, I fly to Kona, Hawaii in September. And I hope I said that
nice.
Right.
Hawaii trip.
Yes. Carolyn, Vermont for leave viewing October 3rd for a week. I want to do one of those.
One of those autumn.
Yes,
viewings?
autumn tours and stuff like that.
Yeah, I get it because here our leaves go from green to brown.
Yes.
There's no in between. Green, brown, fall on the ground.
Yep.
That's it.
Carolyn at Carol, love Kona, have fun. Margaret, I'm a sucker for a good porch to hang out with a glass of wine and barbecue going. Yes. Misty said, my mom has a timeshare and booked for me and husband for late anniversary present. That's awesome.
Nice. Everybody's got some really nice trips coming up.
Yeah. Nellie said, we are doing a Majestic Princess next year for the foliage.
Yeah, that's one of those cruises that's on our bucket list too, just to do one of those Canadian autumn cruises, just to see the leaves change and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
That would be a spectacular cruise. Just
Shika says, I love Hawaii.
we have to get there one of these days too, just to see it.
That's Possum. I know why Tiffany is wearing that shirt. She wants Elmira for Baby Yoda. I don't know what Elmira. I don't know Star Wars that well. We had a Star Wars dress up day at work, so that's why I have the shirt. Misty, it will cover my plane fare to my next cruise. That's awesome. Nelly, it was either Caribbean or doing something else.
Yeah, I get that. Definitely get the doing something else. You know, I go. You know, Caribbean's awesome. The Caribbean's beautiful. But when those do something else ones come up,
Yeah.
like to hop on those too.
Yeah. Carolyn, that sounds fabulous. I want to do that. Carol, I cruised Hawaii in 93.
Yeah, we definitely would like to check out Hawaii. There's so many good places we just haven't gotten to. So many places we haven't gotten to. But I'm looking forward to. But I think we are about ready to wrap this up for tonight. Are you?
Yeah.
Tiffany said, I'm done talking.
No, I gotta make some phone calls.
Huh?
I gotta make some phone calls, so I gotta
Oh,
get on that before.
yeah. Tiffany does have some phone calls to make. There's been some family issues that she needs to look into and stuff like that. But we will be back next week. Got some more videos coming out. Got some cruise stuff to talk about. Got a good one I think is going to be coming out for Saturday. Something a little bit different. Still kind of the what every cruiser wants, but like a little different format. So I think that's going to be super exciting. And then, of course, we will be back next Wednesday, which I believe is the final one for the month, maybe.
No, we still have a couple more.
Two more? Okay. But yeah, we will be back next Wednesday, live, same time, same channel. Get everybody back over here and get rid of the crowns by then. That's my goal. No more crowns.
Misty says, will everyone have a great night? Carolyn says, nice to see you all. Have a great week. Enjoy your shopping, Tiffany. Have fun. Nellie said, all right, family, take care and have a great week. All Tiffany gonna be the mediator. Shika, I have never cruised Hawaii, just visited the islands. Good night, everyone. This show chat is always so fun and positive. James says, Chris, I will text you this week about Galveston.
Absolutely, sir. You know how to get a hold to me anytime. But all right, everybody, really, really appreciate you guys being here. Oh, let me find my... Oh, Lordy. I've lost things left and right. But yeah, again, thank you everybody for being here. We really, really appreciate it. See you guys next week. And like always,
We'll see you out on the high seas.
good night, everyone. Okay, technical difficulties have just occurred. So while I'm fixing these technical difficulties here real quick. Good night, everybody.